Yo, what up, what up, what up? This is King Jaco Martin. We're back with another episode of Whisper to Your Soul. Look, I told you, DJ Cali Boys, another one. I'm sitting here with my guy, the light-skinned legend himself. He's a fire actor, you hear me? He's an executive producer, and they got so many other talents that y'all don't even know about. I'm here with the one and the only Steph. What up, my boy?
What up, man?
Yes, sir, Ski.
Appreciate that intro.
Yeah. You know the vibe. Help me out. Give the people a little rundown of your bio. Give them a little Costco sample of some of the other things that you've done, things you've been in. You know what I mean? Let them know your journey.
All right, cool. I mean, a lot of people ask me all the time, so I'm gonna take it back. So my first girlfriend ever was sports, man. So basketball, baseball, football, my entire life.
Okay.
Collegiate, did a little bit of pro and basketball and baseball. Went overseas.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then I was just like a young knucklehead. If I would have known what I know now, I could take my brain now and put it in my 25-year-old body, it just would have been way different.
Wow.
It's something I wish I would have stuck with, but you know what I'm saying? We talented. We got other talents, other stuff to do. Mm-hmm. So after sports was a wrap, I was like, fuck, how can I keep playing sports and get paid for it? I was like, okay, cool. I could be an athlete on TV and in movies. Right. So started doing commercial work. I modeled. Modeling was cool. Modeled for a couple of years, but I don't know. Modeling, it just got weird, man. Modeling has like ceilings to me because it's like, how many runways can you rip? How many different poses can you do? It's just the same shit. It's kind of redundant, over and over, repetitive. Okay. So and then also in modeling, they want to take straight men and then put them in the most flamboyant, gay ass outfit possible. I just never understood that. It's like, this nigga over here is actually gay and will do all that shit, but you want the straight nigga to put on. You want to have me on the runway.
I've heard things about that. Bro, because I got a couple of homies that model for different clothing brands. I won't say anything or whatever else. And they said when they went in the room or whatever, some of the outfits weren't really manly. And then they wanted them to sit there and pose in their bras and different things like that. And depending on what you're willing to do, depends on the different type of doors that open, different levels.
For sure. But that's also why it's taking me a little bit longer to, pop off. Because there's a lot of cats that I came up with that have 10th of the talent that I have. Mm-hmm. And they got on real quick, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or they might have did something, or they knew somebody, or whatever the case was. Yeah.
Matter of fact, Anthony Mackie just got done doing this post on Instagram when he was talking about
I saw that.
The people who actually get selected to
it's like lucky now, right? It's not like the person who's the best in the room actually is the one who gets put on. It's who you know and
shout out to Anthony Mackie, because I thought that was really dope. Because sometimes, even if you're the most talented person, they can be like, no, I want you. Yeah. It's gonna be, that's the guy.
You have to be likable.
Yeah. And we're gonna make that guy, even though this guy might be more talented, more this, more that, that's the guy that we want to run with, you know what I'm saying, as far as branding.
It's the same in sports.
Yeah.
How many dudes did we know growing up that were the most ridiculously just natural, talented athletes, and they should have been in the league, but they didn't have the drive or the what is it, the consistency to, stick to what you're doing and go to practice and put the extra work.
Stay out of trouble and not be a knucklehead.
Exactly, you know what I mean? Exactly. Yeah. But the guy who was third string had no third string, you know what I'm saying? And he just kept at it. He stayed in the gym. He kept putting in the work, putting in the time, you know what I'm saying? Now he's in the league.
The little engine that could type of story. Yeah.
But he just played the role and...
You know the dope example? Austin Reeves.
Shout out to AR.
And Austin Reeves in the league going crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to AR doing his thing. You going crazy. Keep doing your thing.
Please. We need
you know what I mean? The third star, like for real. People sleep on him. But during the process, he got overlooked. Yeah. He wasn't the guy. Mm-hmm. And he proved everybody wrong by becoming the guy. Mm-hmm. And I think his story is amazing. I think his story is really dope, really powerful. So you said...
So sports, and then after I not quit modeling, but I was like, I'd rather do print work, or you know what I'm saying, when you walk into the malls and you see, you go to the mall and you see those big ass LED screens, Titantrons, or people doing commercial work. I'll do that. I'm with that. Or magazine, you know what I'm saying, print work with dope ass magazines, and you see me on you know what I'm saying, a dope ass suit or a nice manly masculine outfit. Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah. Shout out to that. I mean, I remember I had just done booking Ballers, and I had an opportunity to book a different role.
Yeah, Ballers?
ABC. Yeah.
That's what's up.
On season 5, episode 5.
My nigga London was.
Yeah, that's my guy. London,
Yeah,
London the homie. Big shout out to London, man. I got to get you on the podcast.
You know, London he does stand up.
Yeah. I know London be at the comedy shows all the time. He actually performed at Station too.
That was me, nigga.
Yeah.
That was me. That was my show.
Yeah. So shout out to the bro London or whatever else. You know what I mean? Super talented. So shout out to the homie.
Uncle Marv.
You said you played sports. What do you think your best sport was?
Honestly, man, I had one of those Joe Jackson daddies, bro. Like my dad was. Shout out to my pops, because honestly,
shout out to the pops.
I wouldn't have to drive or be as good as I am in sports if it wasn't for him. So they got pictures of me when I was like 2, 3 years old, and he's throwing the ball to me, and I'm catching it, throwing it back, or I'm hitting the baseball. So baseball, basketball, football. Like I was on traveling teams, competitive teams, all-star teams, junior high, high school. And then once I got to high school and I graduated, you know, once you go to college, coaches don't want you to be a double athlete, let alone a triathlete.
Yeah, they want you. That's how they do in Travis. Shout out to Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
You only play one side of the ball. You know what I mean?
But they'll make exceptions for some students who are actually like really exceptional at this. So they're like
Dion.
Exactly.
Jackson.
So I had to make a choice, and then when I graduated high school, I think I was like 6'4".
Yeah.
So, but I was mad like skinny. So I was a quarterback in high school and a receiver.
Oh, you played quarterback?
Yeah.
Okay, I would have said wide receiver, maybe like corner, free safety, something like that.
Yeah. So, so once I graduated high school, I was like, all right, baseball and basketball is it.
Okay.
So when I played in college, and then got drafted, and so if I had to pick, I was nice in football. I was a nice ass quarterback, and I was routing niggas when I was a wide receiver. And if it touched my hands, I caught it.
I would have to lock them up. Because
you're like a
water play too.
Bro.
No. First of all, man, I'm gonna put on so much weight. I'm working on losing it, bro. I was in high school. I was like 165, gang. I couldn't gain weight.
Running back,
nothing.
No, defense or offense?
No, so I played running back. I played wide receiver. Semi-pro, I played quarterback, and then like kick off return. You know, and if I had to play defense, then it'd be like DB or free safety because I was fast. I used to go 4.2, 4.3 type speed, you know what I mean? And then track and field, I did high jump, long jump, and triple jump. Baseball, I pitched, played shortstop until I got called a hop into the face. So never again. Put me in the outfield. So I just played like center field, you feel me? Because, man, shout out to anybody that plays in the infield, bro.
Nah, for
it's real.
Even in the outfield, though.
You know,
that ball going 500 feet in the air, man. Yeah. You gotta, you know what I'm saying?
I would rather run up under the ball and catch it than to take a hot line to the face, you know what I mean?
So I was a pitcher.
Okay.
So I was a pitcher. When I wasn't pitching, I was in the outfield because I had an arm. So I was either in center field when I wasn't pitching or in right field.
Okay.
And I would dare niggas to run on me. I would want them to run on me.
Yeah.
But like everybody already knew if it was hit to right field or center field, hold up, we're not gonna run on him. And I was like, respect the arm.
Yeah.
But I was a pitcher, so I started off as a starter.
Okay.
And then I just like I had like a lot of velocity on my field, my pitches and stuff. So I think I topped off at like 95 at one point when I was
tough. That's
tough. I topped that was like before I like hurt my arm. I had
Tommy John?
I had ulnar nerve surgery on my elbow.
Okay.
So they pretty much it was just wear and tear from football, quarterback doing this, basketball, all of this, and then baseball. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was just a lot of wear and tear and like a little bit of bone chips in my arm, my elbow. So they had to go in there and clean it out and just reinforce the whole muscle with new tissue.
Wow.
So I mean, like I have like a new elbow. So, but after that, I still played. But then that's when I started like you know what I'm saying. I was over in Dallas in UTA for 2 years.
Okay. And
then I got then I transferred to FIU in Miami for 3 years.
Wow.
So after living in Miami,
it's different. Miami got some dogs out there. Yeah.
No, but just the whole party life kind of got to me a little bit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
South Beach.
Wow.
Where Willie's?
Oh, bruh.
My man's mom, shout out to my army home. His mom manages the Burger King over there off the strip and stuff. So I took a couple of adventures out there, you know what I mean? South Beach do go crazy. It's a different lifestyle, you know what I mean? Let's get into this. I know you act. Mm-hmm. How did you transition from sports into falling in love with acting? Or was that something that you also did on the side as well?
Honestly, I grew up in the industry because my father was a baseball player, and then he was a celebrity stylist.
Okay.
My mother was a supermodel in the 80s and 90s.
Wow.
My model with Janice Dickinson, Iman. She was modeling for Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior, Fendi. Like she was like one of the first.
Doing it.
She was one of the first big black models in the 80s and 90s to really transition and take the whole black wave over to the next level.
Love that.
Yeah. Oh, also I think she was Miss Black. No, I don't think I know. She was Miss Black America. I think like 1987 or some shit like that.
Shout out to Mom Deuce.
So I grew up in the industry, and then my auntie is Kiki Shepard from Showtime with the Apollo.
Wow.
Yeah. So
okay.
I grew
Shout out to Kiki Shepard. We used to watch you. Shout out to the queen.
And then you seen The Last Dragon, right?
Yeah.
With Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Showing up is my uncle. That's my not my blood uncle, but like blood couldn't like make us any closer. Like that was my dad's best friend since birth from South Side of Chicago.
Yeah.
So they grew up together, and I was closer to him than I was my real uncles.
Yeah, that's dope, bro. Like you know the young gentleman who played Leroy.
Yeah, Hittin That.
Yeah, Hittin That. He be in Clubhouse all the time. In the Clubhouse parties, just dropping Winslows and gyms and everything.
For real?
Yeah.
Damn, Clubhouse. People still be doing Clubhouse?
Man, he was in Clubhouse, bro. Still dropping gems, still talking to young actors, still giving out wisdom, bro. So big shout out to the bro, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't even know niggas were still on Clubhouse. I thought that was a pandemic thing.
It really was. It blew up, but he was big in that during that time frame. He would come out and come in the rooms and he would just be a blessing. Because sometimes you just win and you don't know.
Word.
You know what I mean? So just being able to see someone who played at his level, did what he did, you know what I mean? It was a beautiful thing. You know
and he got to kiss Vanity. Shout out to that. Bro, Vanity, I don't care what nobody says. She was the baddest out of the 80s. She was the baddest out of the 80s, bro.
Super bad. Big shout out to Vanity.
Super bad.
So how did you fall in love with acting?
Oh yeah, my bad. Okay, so honestly, just me growing up in the industry and just seeing what my parents were doing. And I remember like my mother, whenever she had pageants or she had to go do photo shoots and shoot for magazines, I was that little boy right there, little big head ass little boy. And I'd be surrounded by a whole bunch of other half naked models and stuff. And I was, you know what I mean? It's part of the reason why I'm so comfortable around women, and I have a lot of female friends and acquaintances.
Right, because you've been doing
I just grew up where I got an older sister. You know what I'm saying? My mother is the oldest of 3 daughters, so it's just I just grew up around.
Shout out to the fam.
Yeah. And then my aunt was the actress and she danced in Broadway for 10 years and then became an actress and then was on one of the biggest black legendary shows ever, Showtime with the Apollo. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Kiki Shepard, what's up?
Black excellence.
The Black Vanna White. So I remember her. I remember being like 9 years old and she got me backstage at the Apollo and it's Wu-Tang and it's the Bad Boy family and Lauryn Hill. You know what I mean? All these people was just there. This is before they really blew up. You know what I'm talking about? So, but it's just I just grew up in this shit. My father was a fashion stylist. He became a celebrity fashion stylist after he played baseball. So I remember he dressed Lionel Richie for hella stuff. He dressed Seal. He dressed Maxwell. He dressed a lot of cats out of like the 90s and like early 2000s.
See, I think the beautiful thing about you, man, you know, for me knowing you as a person, is just the humbleness, no matter the success. But now I understand the humbleness. You grew up in it. You've been around it all the time. It's nothing new. So when you're around everybody that already has a name, that's normal for you. For other people, it's like, I've never been in this space before, but you grew up in this space. So being in that space all the time, it's just like, it's just another day. You know what I mean?
Like I said, it's funny, like this new generation, they call themselves celebrities or like these little YouTubers or
going viral.
Going viral, you know what I'm saying? Or you have one hit song, now you're a celebrity. Like I grew up around real celebrities, like Lionel Richie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Real legendary people whose names will live forever. They will never die. Like real celebrities.
You shouted out through, so I gotta shout out my bro Meth. Love working with you on Drop the Mic, man. For you, Meth, to be Meth, nigga. You feel me? For you to be a part of the move, for you to be the person that you are. Bro, people think that he's just an amazing rapper. No, that brother is an amazing person.
Dope ass actor too.
Fire actor, you feel me? And so I remember being on set with him and someone said something disrespectful to one of the females on set. And Meth was like, we're not doing that. We're not disrespecting nobody, and checked it right there on the spot. His professionalism and how he carries himself. Bro, you deserve all the roses that you get and you deserve to be where you are. Just because not only the talent that God gave you, but how you carry yourself with that talent.
That's what's up.
I think that's really dope. So big shout out to the bro, man.
Thanks. Can I tell you a quick Meth Man story?
Yeah.
All right, quick Meth story. You probably don't even remember this. So like I said, I was probably like 10 or 11 years old. Another time when Kiki brought me to Showtime. And she knew I loved the whole Wu-Tang. But I was a huge Method Man fan. So I remember I was backstage and Kiki I was like, she had like her own little like room, her own personal like room and stuff like that, away from like everybody else. Her and Steve, they all had their own rooms.
Okay.
So I remember her grabbing me by my hand. I'm like, where we going? She said, just come. So she knocks on this door. And when the door opens, all you see is this big ass cloud of smoke come out the door first.
Yeah.
And then you see Redman poke his head out with a blunt in his mouth. What's up, Kiki?
Shout out to Redman, too, man.
And he goes, hey, yo, it's Kiki, yo. He turns like that. Yeah. Everybody like, Kiki, hey. And then like my aunt was just turned up. She was in the middle, dapping everybody up, getting everybody hugs. Like everybody was just trying, you know what I mean? Like it was just dope. And then everybody was like, who's this little nigga? You got a son? She was like, no, this is my nephew. He's a huge fan of yours. So I started naming off songs. They was like, oh, Meth was like, oh, for real? All right, name three of our songs. I started naming off songs. He was like, okay, little nigga, all right. She was like, I gotta go shoot on stage right now. Can you stay back here with y'all? They was like, for real? She was like, yeah. He was like, you cool with that? And Meth was like, you cool? She was like, yeah, it's all good. He was like, bet. So I was chilling with Meth and Redman and some of the Wu-Tang members, like just a little kid, bro. And I remember at the end of the show, Meth was like, he was like, hey, yo, shorty, we gotta go on stage real quick. We just post up. And we'll be right back. I was like, all right, cool. So he came back. He took off his hat. I remember it was like a New York, like, what's the joints? The old, not the snaps, the old joint, the baseball caps.
Okay.
He took that joint off his head. He gave it to me. He took off, it was like this dope-ass Avirex jacket.
Yeah.
Took off his Avirex jacket and gave it to me. I was like, at that time, that was one of the greatest days of my life.
That's crazy.
But like I said, he probably don't even remember that shit.
Look, man, that's so cool, man. This man still exercise on set. I remember we used to have doing dip contests or whatever else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out to my brother Rob, because Rob was the reason why I got an opportunity to actually be a stand-in on Drop the Mic. So shout out to the Drop the Mic crew. Shout out to Haley Baldwin. Shout out to Meth. You know, they were the hosts of the show and all the amazing people that I got to meet on the show. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's funny because I went to film school, right? There's nothing like being on set, though.
Nothing like that's my happy place, bro.
Bro, that is so. You learn so much being on set.
Yeah.
Like school is one thing, but actually watching the machine, being in the machine, learning from the machine, and watching how everybody moves. You know what I mean? So, what was your first project where you were like, you know what? I really want to be an actor. I'm really gonna do this. I know my family doing it, but you know what? This is why Steph is gonna go ahead and become the actor.
My bad, man. I kind of
no, you good.
I got off subject a little bit. I'm talking that Meth story. All right, so. Me growing up around it, like I was like, okay, sports. I remember being a little kid and being, okay, sports. I'm gonna ride this sports shit out till I can't no more.
I did that.
You know what I'm saying? But everybody was like, I'm going to the league.
Yeah.
So I was always in my head, back in my head, like, okay, cool. If I do have to have a plan B, it's gonna be acting. Always TV, film. Okay. I didn't know then that I would go on and want to like write and direct and produce.
I didn't know you write.
Yeah. I write for a lot of sketch comedy stuff. I got like 5 scripts I'm working on right now for TV and film. But a lot of like the YouTubers, like shout out my boy Jahan Jones, shout out Jenny Babas, shout out Carrie, shout out Sade, shout out Callie Scott, shout out my boy CT. Just there's a lot of cats that like in the comedy.
Well, shout out to Cello, shout out to Bonnie, shout out to my fans too. You know what I mean?
Just everybody who I've been working with over the years.
Shout out to King Back. You know what I mean? That guy. What up?
My boy Brody. That's my boy.
Brody go crazy too.
You know what I'm saying? So, honestly. So I had done like a few commercial work, some like commercials and some stuff like that, but it wasn't nothing like extra out. So I think around like 2012. So I was like at this point, like 2012, 2013. This is when I was like deep, like balls deep in the promotion game. Supper Club, Playhouse, Greystone, Toxic. Like this is when Hollywood was still Hollywood.
You part of the 212?
Nah, I was a gun for hire, but Roland. I don't know if you know who Roland is. All right, so you know who Johnny Cruz is?
Oh, you know I don't know nobody. You know I'm from Michigan.
All right,
you know
what I mean? All right, well Roland is one of the OGs in Hollywood that's been doing this shit for at least 20 years. And true story, I met Roland outside. This is when what was it called? The Colony. It was Colony Mondays. And that's on Hollywood. It's in Hollywood, on like Hollywood and Cahuenga. So I pulled up with like 10 girls, just by myself and 10 girls.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't working there. I didn't get invited there. I just knew what was going on, and this is just how I roll. So
talk that talk.
I'm saying, so Johnny was outside doing a roast, and I walked up with the girls, and Johnny letting every girl I was with and closed the rope on me, and I was like, "What's up, bro? You not gonna let me in?" He was like, "Nah, you gotta pay." I was like, "Did you not just see? I just came by myself. The girls are with me, bro. Like I'm not with them. They're with me."
Yeah.
So he was like, "I don't care. You gotta pay." So Roland in the back, who was Johnny's partner, they ran the whole shit. So Roland overheard the conversation, and he was like, "Yo, come here 1 second." So Roland pulled me to the side. He was like, "All those girls with you?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Like, are you working with somebody? Are you a promoter? Do you work here or you work other places?" I said, "Nah." He said, "You just roll like this? You just roll just you and 10 girls just like that by yourself?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you want a job?" I said, "Yeah." So ever since then, Roland was the guy who put me in the whole Hollywood scene.
That's dope.
And then after that came Supper Club, Greystone, Toxic, Playhouse, all the dope ass parties in LA.
Yeah.
So that was how I got my feet in the water. He was the first person to actually see something in me and not hate and put me on.
That's love. That's love. Big shout out to Roland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's dope. I know you said you did some commercials. What was your first film or short that you did?
So let's think. Damn.
And not only that, did you ever go to school for acting or you just jumped straight in?
No, that's what I was gonna say. So me shooting sketch comedy and us doing all the dope ass sketches, like we used to come together at least 3 times a week.
Okay.
And it would be a big ass house just with a whole bunch of comics and actors and influencers.
Kind of like a little think tank.
Yeah. So we would all jump in each other's sketches.
Yep.
And collab with each other. So and that shit works too, bro. If you got a whole bunch of people collabing with each other and posting each other and tagging each other, like my followers went up hella fast.
Yeah.
So that was like class to me. Honestly, like shooting those sketches and back in the day we were shooting our phones and then like maybe like 2017, 16 is when the camera started coming out. But before that, everybody was shooting on their phones, like you know what I'm saying, on the iPhone. Mm-hmm. So just doing that, just learning the shots, learning the pans, the frames, the crash zooms, the slow motion, just learning how shit goes. Yeah. When you actually go to a real set, you do this on bet, say less. Okay, so I'm here, all right, okay, cool. You almost to the point where you calling out other people on their mistakes.
Yeah. You know, that kind of reminds me of, have you ever seen the movie Gran Turismo?
No, but I heard about it.
Oh, so you heard about it with a guy who did video games and then became a Formula F1 race car driver. He was never in a car before, but he played the game. So the comparison is, you guys are already shooting your skits.
Our own content, yeah.
All day long. So you had to get the right angles, you had to have the right lighting, you had to have the right framing. So you've been practicing way before you got on set. Yes. So when you got on set, it was just probably learning the terminology. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but it's pretty much the same thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the learning curve was already there because you had already been in the gym prior to getting in the game. Yes. You know what I mean? So that's dope.
But to answer your question, I want to say like my first real like I said, I had other acting gigs. Mm-hmm. But like my first real big one was this horror movie I got. It's called 7 Deadly Sins on Amazon Prime.
Okay, talk your talk, King. Make sure y'all go watch that. Watch that, Amazon Prime.
It's terrible.
It don't matter. Go watch it anyway.
It's so bad.
Because here's the beautiful thing. This is what we be tripping about, our terrible moments. But our terrible moments is what actually help us grow to become great.
Fact. Oh no, I wasn't. You know what I mean? I've come a long way. That shit was like 2014.
Yeah.
So 2014, 2015. So I've come a long way. I look at my old shit and I just be like,
me too.
Like, nigga, what was you doing, bro? Like, oh God. So, but so that came out. Now it's called 7 Deadly Sins. Okay. Glenn Plummer's in it. Eric Roberts is in it.
Shout out to Eric.
Who else is in it? Tom Sizemore is in it.
Shout out to Tom.
Yeah.
Shout out to the cast, man.
Yeah. So that was my first real big joint. And I was the only black guy in the movie. Yeah. In the entire movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't die first. Shout out to that.
Look at the evolution.
You know what I'm saying?
Evolution is real. But God.
Yeah. But it was fun and I got paid well, and it was honestly one of the my most fun experiences with acting. Yeah. But it just when it came out, the final edit, it was terrible. Yeah. It looked like it should have been a TV series instead of a movie. But it was a movie. But it's on Amazon Prime and I got my points, so it is what it is.
Yeah. You still get your credit for it.
Exactly.
I remember I did my first project or whatever else, right? You know, I used to be in the military. Then I wanted to come to California. I booked a commercial, Bank of America.
Nice.
You know, so when you first move to do something, people be like, you'll never make it. You don't know nobody in California. Sure. That ain't real. You know, the haters got to do what they supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
They don't want to see you shine.
And then as soon as it happened, bro, my nigga, we made it. So it was funny, but I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciated them or whatever.
That's what they did to me. Like, okay, so when I was promoting my promotional team in Hollywood,
yeah.
So I was making money promoting these clubs and bringing girls and making selling tables and making commission and stuff. But I never got into promotion to expand and like yeah, I'm about to be LA's biggest promoter and I'm gonna be America's biggest promoter. Like no, that was never the goal. I was just a guy who's always had a lot of pretty girls around me.
Yeah.
So it was a check and it was a means for me to network to get to the next bag.
Yeah.
So I remember the day like it was yesterday when I was like, yeah man, I gotta chill out. I gotta take a break on all this bullshit ass club ass shit. And I'm making money, got racks in my pocket, but I just wasn't happy. So that's
real right there. So you gotta say that part one more time for the people, man. Let them know on the camera, bro. You can make money, but if you ain't got no peace in it, don't mean nothing. So say that for them one more time.
Bro, I was making money and I was meeting beautiful women. I was at the biggest parties in LA. I was hanging with all the celebrities and then bringing girls to their houses and their parties and the after parties and whatever the case is going on. And it's like to anybody else, it looks like I'm living the life, but it's not the life that I wanted to live. So I remember I woke up, shout out my boy Wiz Khalifa.
Shout out to Wiz.
Yeah, the whole Taylor gang, Light, Nate, Will, those are all the homies, Chevy, you know what I'm saying? So I remember when they first came to LA, I was one of their promoters, and I used to get I used to get Wiz booked at a summer club and other clubs and shit. Okay. So I got cool with the team, and I started they would book me to cast girls in their videos. Okay. So after all that, it was cool. So I can't remember what party it was, but it was a party one night, and we was all back at this nigga's crib, and we was turned the hell up, and it was like 3 floors. Okay. And I remember I had 1 floor at the crib that I would always come chill at. And so we was like turned up the night before with a whole bunch of girls and shit, having fun, partying, drinking, smoking, turned up. And I woke up. When I woke up in the morning, no, I shit you not. Like, this ain't a story to flex. This is a true fucking story. So I woke up and it was just legs and arms and just ass and titties just everywhere. And I got up just like this and just looked around. It's girls on the floor laid out like a fucking music video, like in a movie, some shit you see in a movie, dude. Just people just sleep, pass the fuck out. Bottles of alcohol, drugs everywhere, weed everywhere. I literally get up like this. I grab a blunt that I had rolled from last night, and there was like this big ass window, like in the movies, a big window with like the curtain, and the wind is blowing through the curtain. So I walk through the curtain, and the outside balcony like shows the entire city. Mm-hmm. Sparked up the blunt, looked over the city, and was like, "Yeah, this ain't it."
but see, I'm so glad that you shared that.
Well, who does that? Nobody does that.
But I'm glad you shared that. You know what I'm saying? To have the moment of
clarity, I guess.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, because it's real. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. But my whole thing is most people would have woke up in that situation and be like, "Nigga, what are you talking about? This is what I'm working hard for."
Yeah.
So you can be cool with some other rich, famous nigga.
But here's the thing, though. Everybody has their own type of piece that they want for their life. Mm-hmm. So if that's your lifestyle, shout out to it. I ain't mad at it. But you got to know what's best for you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that moment of clarity, when you have that, what path did that send you down?
Oh, man. Shit. Sidebar, I used to do Molly and sell. I was selling Molly, so I used to be in the clubs and shit. But I also used to take it to keep me up and awake. Mm-hmm. So, because I would do 3 parties in a night. We do the pregame, we do the club, and then we do the after party, and sometimes we do the after party. You know what I'm saying? So I would be tired and just sleepy out my motherfucking mind. So I would do some Molly to keep me up, and it got to the point where I'm not gonna say addicted, but I liked it a lot. Nigga. Yeah. I liked it.
Allegedly.
I liked it a lot. I did. So I just had to stop. I had to damn, you doing drugs now, and you actually like the drug. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, cool. Let me chill out with that. And then I was like, okay, it's time to actually. I can't remember who. There's a lot of old heads like wise men in my life. But I can't remember who actually told me. I think it was somebody, an actor I knew or something like that. It was like, Steph, if you really want to do something, first off, nobody's gonna make it crack for you. You have to make it crack. So if you want to do this acting shit, you got to do the stuff that the preparation it takes to be an actor. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna take a few years. I'm gonna take like a year or two off of this like club shit, and I'm gonna really like get in shape, and I'm gonna be healthy, and I'm gonna look the part, and I'm gonna like go to acting class, and then my Jahan back in like 2013, 2014. Mm-hmm. He was one of the first cats to be like, Steph, if anytime you want to shoot some sketches, bro, just let me know. Mm. So I finally was ready, and he hit me up one day and was like, yo, I'm shooting on Thursday. I'm at my crib. You should pull up. It's going to be like maybe like 15 or 20 other like influencers there. Some of them you might know, whatever the case is. I was like, all right, bet. And then after that, I pulled up and we probably shot like 3 or 4 sketches. And I was like, nigga, this is how you get them down? I was like, this is easy. Yeah. And not only is it easy, but I'm gonna type of prayer. Like, I was like, John, you should let me write some shit for you. He was like, nigga, you write? I was like, yeah. He said, all right, let's see, write some shit. Yeah. I ended up writing some shit for him. He was like, okay, you actually nice, nigga. Yeah. And then after that, man, I was like, okay, I fuck with this. This is fun. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it became class for me. It was like I to the point where I loved doing it. And I was inviting other people and then collabing with other people, and then other people would see me posting the videos and like, oh my God, Steph, that shit is funny as hell. And I'd be like, yeah, I wrote it. Not only did I act in it, but I wrote this shit. Yeah, they like, you wrote this? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, wow. So everybody, I didn't know you was funny. I thought you just a pretty one of these pretty ass niggas.
It's funny how like people they try to box you and you really don't understand everything that you do. That's why I wanted to create a show like this so people can get a better perception. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because they only see you in this position, but they don't know the race that you even ran to be in this position. Man. They don't even know the moment of clarity that actually changed your life. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny? Like only people I told, like women that I date or like close, like super close friends that are in this like my peers. Like they might know. I might have told them shit like that story over the years, but I've never really like just opened up and talked about it.
Well, speaking of overcoming things, how do you overcome your problems in your life? Like when you're going through your dark storms, because we've all had moments. We've all been through different storms. We've all felt at things. We've all got frustrated. We've all wanted to quit in our life. You know what I mean? What do you do to overcome and pull yourself out of the sunken place?
Man.
Some people work out, go to the gym, go for a walk.
The gym is my, that's my church. Like, I'm gonna say in the past year or so, like I really got back into it. Okay. Because, like I know people be thinking like I'm in my 20s and shit, but I'm turning 36 in May. You know what I'm saying? So my body's different.
And like
So I'm trying to get on my LeBron shit, honestly. And for these roles that I'm going up for, like my own personal core, I want to put on like at least 20 pounds of just pure muscle and just be in shape and. You know what I mean? Just look good on camera, because like you're your own biggest critic. When you see yourself on camera, it's like, okay, I need to work on this. And
that's why look. You see me on camera right now. I will not look like this in 2 months because I'm in the gym every day. Listen, I had to be real with myself, Steph. I said, yo, you finally got what God asked you for, and now you want to get lazy. Yeah. Now you don't want to do what it takes. Like my acting coach says, a lot of people say, hey, what does it take to make it? But you already know. Right. Are you willing to do the work? I can't sit here and say I want to be the next this, the next that, if I'm not doing the preparation to be the first me. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get on myself and say, you know what, bro? You ain't never been in this video like, what's wrong with you? Ever. That's a fact. But that's the honesty that you gotta have with yourself. You feel me? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Nigga, you ain't young. You need to work out every day. You need to start changing your diet. You know what I'm saying? You need to watch what you eat. You can't season the way you used to season. Because here's the thing, bro. There's a price being paid.
Can't be drinking. Well, you don't drink at all.
I'm a social drinker. You know what I'm saying? Everybody drink, I'll drink, but I don't drink like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Thank God I don't have an addictive personality like that.
Facts, me neither. Yeah.
So
that's why I was able to pick that Molly shit. You know what I'm saying? Personality.
And people smoke, I'm like, okay, I'll smoke. If people drinking, okay, I'll drink. But I'm the type, you see me, I can go in the club, just vibe out by myself, just be in my own little world. You know what I'm saying?
Weed is cool. Weed don't hurt you, man, in the long run. Yeah. Alcohol does.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So now it's just like, okay, in order for me to get what I say I want, hold on, let me tune in right here. In order for you to get what you say you want, there's requirements. You can say you want something, but do you meet the requirement of the blessing you're asking for? You know, and so that's why I'm proud of you, bro. You know what I mean? Because in order for you to get what you wanted, you had to let some things go. Mm-hmm. You had to look around you, even though this looks luxurious and someone else would be like, yo, this is my dream come true. You had to let that go and free yourself from this certain type of lifestyle in order to create the lifestyle that you actually really, really want. Yep. And I really think that's dope of you. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, man.
Here's a question for you. If you could play anybody from history, who would that character be? Who would you want to play? From
history?
Yeah. Like I always wanted to play Martin, or I had wanted to play Tupac when I was young, you know what I'm saying? Who would you want to play? Is there anybody in history that you would mind playing?
I'm going to just go for the first actor that really made me look at shit and be like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm okay. To me, Will Smith and
shout out to Will.
Yeah, Will and Denzel. Them two were like the starter kids for me when it comes to this acting shit.
Yeah.
So I think, everybody's seen Fresh Prince. Fresh Prince might have like kickstarted it.
Yeah.
But when he came out with Bad Boys, I was like, nigga, I was like, this is what I want to do, bro. Bad Boys was like that first one was life changing.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh my God, like that whole character, Mike Larry. Listen, when they came out with the third one, yes, nigga.
Gang, I should have said that.
When they came out,
your personality,
bro. Listen, when they came out with the third, when they came out with the third Bad Boys, and then the little short Spanish nigga was his son, I was like, oh my bro, I would be perfect.
I could play his son.
Bro, I would be the perfect Mike Larry Jr. Are you kidding me?
Oh, as a matter of fact, you got the height, your requirements, everything. Swag, yeah.
And I low-key looks like if he could be my dad. Yeah, like, it makes more sense.
Yeah, Shout out to the young man who did wind up booking.
Yeah, no hate, yeah.
We're not saying it like that.
Nah, I'm just saying.
But if you actually knew Steph, that
I had so many people hit me up and be like, why you didn't audition for this role? Why you would have been perfect for that.
That's funny. That's super funny.
So Will was like the first actor that I just seen his whole transition from, he was a rapper. Then he had Fresh Prince. Now he's one of the biggest movie stars in the world. Mm-hmm. Okay, he did it like that. I'm gonna do something like that too.
I still remember Will when he came home and he was expecting his father to be there. And he had that conversation with Uncle Phil.
Oh, Uncle Phil, yeah.
And the living room
that boy got range.
Man, bro.
That boy got range.
Will, let me tell you, to this day, that is a master class, my boy.
Facts.
That is a master class of understanding the craft, bro. You know how many young men you touched with that scene? You know what I'm saying? Pause, because I know how young men
For the young niggas.
You know how people try to be, and they try to take a sound bite and then make it, we're not doing that. Oh, God. But what I mean is, bro, like, you touched their heart, bro. You feel me? Like tears, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was real because a lot of us do want our fathers in our lives, and a lot of us went through that experience, and for you to put that on camera, the way you put that on camera, respectfully, I appreciate you telling the truth.
Yes.
Because a lot of people don't know how to tell the truth in that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You really told the truth in that moment. I don't know your history like that, but in that moment on television, you represented a situation for so many people. Yep. I just want to say, bro, shout out to you. Kudos to you, bro. Mm-hmm.
Shout out to your agent, too, man. Whoever your agent was back in the early 90s, mid-90s, whoever your agent was that was like, okay, you need to leave Fresh Prince because you're boxing yourself into this. This is it. You need to be a movie star now. Let's get you Bad Boys. Yeah. Let's get you Men in Black and Independence Day all within 1 or 2 years. What?
That's a big shout out. Because
3 classics?
Bro, people do get stuck in roles. Steve Urkel got stuck in his role. People see him outside of that. No disrespect. You are an amazing actor. My man who played Carlton got stuck in that role for a long time.
Shout out to Alfonso Ribeiro.
Alfonso is a super talented, amazing dancer. You know what I mean?
When I was a kid watching Fresh Prince, I liked your character, but I always thought your character was just hella corny. But now that I'm a grown-ass man, and I go back and watch all them old-ass episodes, bro, you were just important on that show as Will was, man. There are, the episode with you and Will, and both y'all are Ashley at the one where he's there. Will and Carlton are Ashley's backup dancers.
Oh, yeah.
And he started going off. Oh,
you went crazy. Wait, what about the one where he was in the hood? And he was C-Note. I think this nigga, they gave him a nickname.
Yo.
Yeah, shout out to Alfonso, man.
You were just as important as well on that show,
You're a legend, bro.
Facts.
Like, you're amazing, bro.
Black, we love you. We love you, man.
Pure black excellence, bro.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So when it comes to becoming an executive producer, how did you fall into that one?
Man, just like I said, I guess a lot of that goes with me being in Hollywood and doing the parties and events and private parties and pool parties and promotional parties for different brands.
Okay.
And then just being like, okay, like, you know what I mean? Just watching people do it. Like, I can do this. I can do it at a better level than you can.
Yeah.
And then the sketch comedy thing, with me doing sketch comedy and then me first being an actor and then me being like, let me write some shit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, let me direct some shit. Because I was actually, I'm on set helping people like, hey, okay, so in this scene, I'm going to keep it real with you. That was all right, but I know you could do better. How about you try this? Let's get a couple of takes of you doing this, and then we'll get a couple more takes of you doing it your way. So you got something to go back to. Yeah, you got to range. Yeah, you got to range. You know what? I like that. Yeah. So that the directing thing, and I would help guys and girls with that. So I was like, okay, now I'm a director, and then producing. I've always wanted to like TV and film produce my own stuff, but I got my like first like production wise stuff with shooting sketch comedy and I love comedy. Like actual stand-up comedy, I love it. Like that's another one of my churches. Like it's like therapy for me. Every Monday, improv with Monday Rays with D-Ray, or every.
I gotta get closer to that. You gotta shout out my brother. You gotta shout
out D-Ray Davis, my big brother.
Yeah,
he's the one who put me on.
Legendary, bro. Go.
As annoying as this nigga is, like a big brother, I gotta give this nigga his flowers.
Big shout out to
D-Ray Davis is the nigga who put me in the comedy game.
That guy.
He put me on.
He really that guy.
Yeah. So he's literally like a big brother to me.
Yeah.
I annoy the fuck out of a nigga like a little brother.
Yeah.
So he brought me on, like I want to say 2016, like work with him at improv. But I was just like helping them promote the brand and promote the show and bringing girls. And then I ended up doing my own. I asked him, like, it was 2016. I was like, yo, D-Ray, I want to start producing my own show, man. Can you help me out as far as like just advice with the blueprint of how like the structure of doing the show is? And he gave me the blueprint. And then after that, my first show was at OHM in Hollywood. Okay. And then we moved to Stir Lounge because I had already had a night there in Studio City, Sherman Oaks. Okay. And then I had another show at Zen Lounge when Dwayne Martin and Tisha Campbell were, they were the owners. Yeah. And then after
shout out to Dwayne and Tisha,
So and then after that, I took a couple years off to like really do the acting thing. And I started doing book for TV shows and some movies. And then I came back, like so. Then I would start producing comedy shows in my off time whenever I wasn't on set, I wasn't shooting something. Okay. And I loved it. It's a lot of work that goes into it, just like getting to know all these comics on a personal level and just seeing how crazy or how lame some of them are or just how dope some of them are. You never know who's dope as hell. You know what I mean? It's a grind. Shout out to all the comics that's out here, you know what I'm saying, with a dream and y'all don't have the followers yet, but y'all have the drive and
say that again, Steph. Say that again.
Shout out to all the comics in the stand-up game that's out here that have a dream and a goal and they have drive. And it doesn't matter how many doors you get slammed in your face, it doesn't matter how many times you bomb on stage, you take your ass right back and you get up on that stage and you learn from your lessons and then you smoke that shit next time. That's why I said, like, I've seen some of the greatest comics, I'm talking about the A-listers come through and bomb. Yeah. And then I'll see a nigga or a female nobody knows and go up there on stage and smoke that shit and get a standing ovation afterwards, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's a grind. Yeah. And like Kevin Hart, people don't be knowing, like Kevin Hart, like he been acting, bro was been acting since the late 90s, early 2000s and grinding. People think he just came up out of nowhere. I mean, he kind of did, but it was a grind. He was on like doing commercial work, he was doing stand-up. His first movie was Paper Soldiers. Mm-hmm. And then maybe like 5 years later, like 3 to 5 years later, then he got Soul Plane. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's a grind. Like he was grinding for 20 years before he, like 15, 20 years before he actually blew up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So for people who be thinking that because of this internet shit now and how the social media has it going and you could just, you know what I'm saying, post a video and the video gets 500,000 likes and views and now you're viral and you think you're funny because that video went off. Like I don't know. That's why I just really respect the people who are actually funny, because I've seen a lot of these social media people who are getting booked to do shows and tours, and then they come to a black room and they're terrible, bro.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Don't know how.
Hey, listen, as a comic,
the crowd. Yeah.
Listen, everybody knows as a comic, black rooms are the hardest. We don't give you no sympathy, giggles, chuckles. You got 2 or 3 jokes in you. If you bomb on all 3 of those jokes, you either getting silence or you getting heckled. You know what I'm saying? Like that's part of the reason why I love Improv Monday and Monday Race every Monday, because it's a rated R comedy show. If you are not funny, you are getting flamed, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But other shows like
I remember they did it at station. They would come in the station when it was called Station 16 or whatever else, and that's a club, but they tried to turn it into a comedy show. And if you wasn't funny, you had to go out there.
Exactly. If you're not funny, you're not funny. That's what I'm saying, man. So but like this social media just got the whole. I don't know. I kind of feel bad for like the old school comics who actually are funny and been doing this shit for years. But
I mean, too much of anything could be a bad thing. I'm not. So you do have some social media stars that learn how to convert.
Because they know how to do promo. They know how to post themselves, and then you know what I'm saying.
And then you got some that are now saying, "Hey, okay, I'm funny in this lane when it comes to creating content. Let me go get the craft." And now they're going to school. You know what I mean? They're going to acting school.
I see so many people online who are viral, and it's not funny. Like, like a lot of the female influencers will probably get mad at me, but whatever. I'm gonna say what I want to say. So females they're a cheat code. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I ain't gonna shake that ass.
Females are a cheat code. There's videos that
no disrespect. Cause I'm watching, I'm looking. I ain't like I ain't looking. I ain't like I ain't like nothing. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna sit here in front. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah.
But at the same time, like, okay, there's females, like there's a lot of females who like there's videos and like there's sketches or scripts that I've written, like short form, maybe like 2 or 3 minutes, but it's smoke all the way through. It's edited like real cinematic, like a real movie or a real TV show, like some White Lotus shit. And I got my dope actors in it, and it gets a lot of traction. Yeah. But then a girl could just take a video of her in slow motion walking from here to the front door, and it gets millions of views. There's no talent there was no thought process behind this. There's no nothing.
Sex sells.
No nothing.
Sex sells, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I shout out people like Chella, bro. Chella.
Yeah, she right. She directing some shit. She actually cares about
music.
Yeah.
Like she's touching so many different lanes. Yeah. And the funny thing is, you gotta be careful what you go viral with. If you go viral with content that you don't love, your audience is gonna continue to expect that type of content from you.
Girls don't care about that shit. All they care is that you watching.
And
follow.
That's a fact too, though.
Yeah, cool. Whatever. You don't like this video of me taking a shit? Oh well, you still watched it. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. A girl can take a video of her taking a shit, and niggas is gonna go crazy for it, bro.
Right.
But am I lying? Exactly.
No lies told, man. I ain't watching no girl take a shit.
Me neither. You nasty bitch.
What? Okay. What's a misconception about you, Steph?
That I'm like one of those pretty boy types that is just like super narcissistic, super into himself, super just unaware of what real life is like for any other people, or just a fucking dickhead, just a douchebag. And it's just like most of those conceptions that come from me are people who don't know me. They just see me from afar, whether it's a woman who wants to talk to me or it's a woman who did talk to me and I don't fuck with her no more. You know what I'm saying? Or just
from the Indian.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or even like when you just look at a girl, see me and they just see me surrounded by girls, or they see me at the table and it's a bunch of girls and they see me giving girls drinks and hosting, and just, damn, he got a lot of bitches around him. He got a lot of females around him. He probably fucking all of them. And it's like,
it ain't even the vibe.
That's not the, like, why do you think the most important reason why all these girls are cool with me is because I'm just a cool ass dude. I don't make you feel like you gotta give me some pussy or something like that to come and hang with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just come and hang out, be normal, have some drinks, turn up, shake that ass.
I got a couple of cats that promote, bro. They're just on some cool, like, just come vibe out with me. This the job, this the bag. Let me tell you the situation. Y'all pull up, y'all come and have a good time. I'm gonna treat y'all like y'all. I'm gonna pour your drinks. I'm gonna make sure y'all ain't got no weirdos in the club bothering you. Y'all can come out, have a good time, then y'all go home.
You know that's like a 5 percentile, right? The other 95% of the promoters are weirdo, lame ass, cornball, thirst ball, clout chasing ass niggas, bro. And if their little name on that clipboard in front of the club, that's how they get pussy. Oh. That's how they get girls. Their little name on that clipboard in front of the club, bro. I'm telling you. That is how they get girls. Because of their name in front of the clipboard.
Steph came with smoke. It is what it is. Smoke. It is what it is. I love it. Okay, Steph, like, here's another question for you, man. What do you want your legacy to be, bro?
Oh, man. Honestly, I love sports. I love TV and film. I love acting. I love movies. I love dope-ass TV shows, dope series. I love comedy. I want to start this year. Me, my partner, and I. Shout out to my boy M. Dot, shout out to my boy M. Dot, Mike Mancini.
Shout out to Mike Mancini.
Yeah. So we about to take our show, our brand, Showtime Tuesdays, the comedy show. Okay. We about to take it on tour, and we're gonna hit the West Coast. We're gonna hit the South. We're gonna hit East Coast. We're gonna hit Midwest, all that shit. So,
copy that.
Honestly, I just want my legacy. It's funny because when I was growing up, I'm not gonna say I was like the most selfish nigga, but like when you're younger and you just your goal is to be this, you just not let nobody get in your way. So the older version of me is just like I really want to take care of people and put them on. I want to inspire people. I want to inspire them to aspire to be whatever they want to be.
Talk, man.
You know what I mean? I've also never said this on the podcast either, but I get like a lot of like DMs from people who watch my videos or watch my whatever work I'm doing, whether it be TV, film, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And they really tap in with me. They really have been watching me for years. Okay. And I've had people over the years hit me up and slide in my DMs and be like, "Hey, Steph, just want to tell you thank you for being funny and just making me laugh and being lighthearted, and because I'm going through this situation, or I was thinking I had suicidal thoughts, and watching your videos or just seeing what you're up to, you know what I mean, it kind of like made me laugh, and it just lightened up my day and made me not want to hurt myself, or made me want to not think about whatever I have going on in my life and just be positive." Yeah, I was when the first one of those I got, I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Yeah. I didn't think me putting out this little funny video, this little 30-second video was going to help anybody's day or make their day different or change their day or make them feel better about themselves. Yeah. So once I started getting those like back to back, when my brand started growing more, I was like, okay, this is different. Like, I actually want to help people. And then, like I said, it's me growing up in a family full of women. I have an older sister who has 2 daughters. So I have 2 nieces. They're in their 20s, the early 20s, but they're like my little sisters. Right. They're so close in age to me. Right. I have my aunties, I have my mother. Like, the women in my family are my inspiration and my drive as to why I keep doing what I do and why I stay on the path that I'm in. Because honestly, if it wasn't for them, especially my mother, my mother is my biggest inspiration and my best friend. Yeah. If it wasn't for her, who knows what I would be doing, bro. I could have been in jail. No,
it ain't. You got too many buses going on in the life, they're going to keep going that way.
Right, but I'm just saying, my mother, me having the mother I did and the women I grew up and was raised by is a reason why I have no felonies. Why I never wanted to go be, you know what I'm saying, be a drug dealer or a henchman or a nigga who just has bodies and just out here hurting people, ruining lives, killing people, robbing motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Just because of them, I've never wanted to be that kind of guy. Never wanted to be that guy. Never.
So, any final words, Steph, that you got for the audience that you might want to tell them?
Yeah, anybody who has a goal or a dream, anything that you want to do, I don't care how many doors you get slammed in your face, how many people around you, most of the time it'll be the ones that are closer to you, you know what I'm saying, that hate on you. How many people hate on you and tell you you can't do it or you shouldn't do it or you can't do it. If you have a goal and you have a dream, you got to make that shit crack. You by yourself have to get that shit in motion. And then as soon as you get it in motion, like you said earlier, all the people who was hating on you, telling you, nah, stick to this. Stick to what you know, bro. Because you're not about, no. You want to be an actor, Steph? Nah, stick to this Hollywood shit, bro. You good at this. you stick to being the pretty boy tall dude who brings all the bad bitches through. We need you for that. We don't want you, you know what I mean? We like you where you are.
They try to put you in a box.
Yeah, we like you where you are. And then I went off and I told everybody I'm about to do this acting shit full time. They laughed at me. And then all the people who were laughing at me now are the people who are subscribing to my shit, hitting me up talking about, hey, Steph, we watched you on this show, or we seen you on this movie. That shit was dope as fuck, bro. That shit's crazy, man. You really actually did what you said you was gonna do. Yeah. I don't care if it takes 5 months, 5 years, or you know what I'm saying, longer than that. Just stick with it, because the day that you quit, that could have been the year, like a month later, that
it happens, man. Come
somebody
on,
want to give you a big ass check for something, or you get booked for something that's life changing.
Yeah, man. Look, man, give them your social media so they can follow you real quick, support you.
Steph Santana on IG. What else? Yeah, I really just be on IG. Yeah. So yeah, Steph Santana on IG.
And for those who can't spell it out for me.
Got you. Steph STEPH, Santana SANTANA. And you know what I'm saying? Every Monday night, Hollywood Improv from Monday Raves and me and D-Ray Davis, one of the best comedy shows in LA.
D-Ray, by the way.
You know what I'm saying?
You gonna pull up one day.
Yeah. And then also, whenever y'all get a chance, man, go check out A House Divided with me, Lisa Ray, Paula J. Parker, Brad James, Demetria, and my mentor now, like, who was like an uncle to me, Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. Shout out to Larry, man. We got 5 seasons on Amazon Prime, and we got a couple spinoffs about to drop either later this year or top of the year. So, yeah,
man. Look, I'm your boy King Jaquel Martin, back with another episode of Whisper to Your Soul. I'm here. I told y'all, man, he's gonna come through, talk his ish. My boy Steph, man. Y'all know how to find me. Catch me at King Jaquel Martin on Instagram. That's KingJaquellMartin. Or you can catch us at Whisper to Your Soul. You know how to spell it. Check me out, bro. You feel me? It's another episode. Yeah, straight like that.
Yeah, man.